You watch us on Good Morning Football. Wow, Lady Liberty looking great this morning. That's
She's
her
lit.
view. She's lit.
She is lit.
She really is.
Turn up, Lady Liberty. That's it.
We're here in New York City. Our show is presented to you by Intuit QuickBooks, and it's Monday, November 26th. My name is Kay Adams. Nate Burleson, lit as always, already.
Already, I'm ready, Kay. There were some games this weekend.
There really, really were.
I don't think I went to sleep.
You didn't?
Oh,
I know
I'm so
how
hype on football.
I know how these 3 hours are going to go.
Before the Nate passing out in hour number 3. It'll be good.
Same party.
And KB. See these lattes he drinks, these sugar lattes? He'll be on the way up.
He said Lady Liberty was turned up.
Yeah.
Well, she was actually lit.
A beacon of hope to immigrants to this country. I'm sure that's really a compelling commentary.
Let's get to some highlights. This is our show. It's what we do. Feed you
Ellis
highlights.
Island was popping. Let's do it. Ellis
Break down
Island
the
was
playoff
good.
picture. It's all right here on Good Morning Football.
This was the scene of the Super Bowl. Hey, look. Hey, you can't jump with me. That's Nate's old teammate. Peter's friend. We all love Randy Moss, and we all love Kirk Cousins, guys, especially when he's going against Aaron Rodgers. Would he show up in a primetime game under the bright lights? Let's find out, because right now, Rodgers with a beautiful throw and catch to Devontae. Alan Chris showed this about 30 times on the broadcast. It was beautiful. He threw it 5 steps before Devontae even turned around. Great touch on over the game, but the Vikings came to fight. Look at Dalvin. Dalvin looks good. He looks fine. He looks like 6 points. Look at him, Nate.
He was rolling on that one.
And we got the limbo stick. NBC even played the limbo music. Maybe more on the stick later, because that was fantastic. 7-7. Guys, we got a shootout. Aaron Jones, it's a walk-in. Bakhtiari, who would get hurt later in the game, pulled out as a pulling tackle. Had no one to even block. It was that easy. It was given. But Cousins said, I got you. Now down 14-7, not for long, because Stephon Diggs and those 2 receivers.
Not much,
Peter, yoga guy?
Yeah, big yoga.
Big yoga guy? Yogurt, Peter. I think that is your deal. Frozen. With mochis and gummy bears on top. Adam Thielen, now I like this celebration. Watch, he just looks like a child. He looks free, he looks happy. Whee! Let's get out of here. Go, go, go. No more limbo. Rodgers, oh, it's that kind of year. Fourth quarter, though, what do we got? Aaron Rodgers, number 12, looking to try to keep the Vikings off the win column, down 10 points. Look at Devontae. Ah! You don't see that. You don't see that from these two. This should be automatic. This is Gary Payton.
What do you think of this next decision? Field goal, cut it to 7.
I think there's been a lot of decisions for the Packers that have been great. Look at this. Thank God that 1987 chin strap was over his face, because Rodgers, I would call that a just seething look on the bench. Just a ho-hum loss on the road.
Take a field goal, never get the ball back.
24-17, never get the ball back. The Green Bay Packers have the same record as the Cleveland Browns. They've lost 8 straight on the road going back to last season. But let's hear from the winner. Let's hear from Kirk Cousins after a huge divisional win in prime time.
Well, I thought Coach Flip did a really good job, and our entire offensive staff, of finding a nice balance with the runs and the passes and staying aggressive and still being smart, and just putting us in a position to make plays. I just want to play well for these guys, not just for Coach Zimmer, but for our staff. They work so hard. They've done a great job. They deserve a lot of respect and the recognition, and then certainly our locker room. You know, I just feel so good about our team, and I said that to them in pregame, that I like us. I like our guys. You know, unfortunately, just being a great group of guys doesn't mean you get wins handed to you, but we had to go out and earn it tonight, and we did.
They certainly did. They've got the Patriots in Foxborough up next, with beating Aaron Rodgers, one of the main reasons the Vikings paid Kirk Cousins those big dollars. Look what he's done in 4 career outings against Green Bay. There's a lot of talk about him under the bright lights, what he can do in prime time. One takeaway, of course, is that he got it done when he needed to. Let's talk about what we learned from Sunday Night Football.
Okay, he was 4-12 in primetime over his career, and I feel like I'm on a pregame show, Nate's on a pregame show, you do a show on Sunday, you do a show Friday. This was all we talked about, 4-12. It was like the number that we couldn't avoid. But if you look a little bit in the numbers here, their 3 primetime losses this year were to the Rams, the number 2 seed in the NFL, the Saints, number 1 seed, the Bears. You can distort the numbers a little bit. When they played a team that they should beat at home on primetime, Kirk Cousins got the job done. 342 yards. Most importantly, 0 interceptions, 0 fumbles. They protected the ball, and they protected the lead. I even like the fact they had the foot in the gas pedal late. It was 4th and short, and they were up 10 points. They went for it on 4th down, incomplete, but that's okay. That's not how you win. You have to win. You have to be aggressive against Aaron Rodgers. And I thought Kirk Cousins, he slayed some dragons here. I know he's not great in prime time and historically hasn't played well in the big games. Guess what? The only way to fix that is to win a big game. Last night was their biggest game of the season, maybe the biggest game for him personally in his career. and he got to prove a lot of people wrong. I think that they're on the right track, and Cousins showed us something.
Now, you mentioned the pregame show, and what I love about being on NFL Today on CBS is that I get to talk to Boomer Esiason and Phil Simms. Guys, legendary careers, legendary men, Super Bowl rings, Hall of Fame stature within their own organizations they played for. And I oftentimes ask them about new quarterbacks. And I say, well, how do you feel about these guys with big money and they don't necessarily fulfill expectations? They say, well, we're past the days of you having to be the best at your position to get paid as the best at your position. A decent quarterback can get broke off because that's what the market dictates. But I'm looking at Kirk Cousins, and I never thought I'd say this, but for what he got paid, I didn't think that I'd come to the point where I thought he was worth every single
That was it yesterday,
dollar.
beating the 4-5 team.
The fact that he was so efficient up against Aaron Rodgers, playing in a game that he is supposed to win, and the numbers that you spoke of, the 2 touchdowns, the 0 interceptions, it's a body of work, Straits. This up and down. There's games where I said, oh, he looks good. And there's games where I'm like, Kirk Cousins, what are you doing? But this was, I think, the culmination of the entire season and me feeling like he went out there to prove to the world, you might be watching this game because you think Aaron Rodgers is the better quarterback, but tonight I'm the better quarterback on the field. So that's why I feel like now it's stamped and approved, more so than any other quarterback, more so than Derek Carr, even more so than the recently paid Matt Stafford, who I played with. That $90 million was worth every penny.
It made me feel better about the Bears, who beat them a week ago, but it made me think that the Vikings are still scary with their defense. They had a huge stop in the third quarter on 4th and inches. They sacked Aaron Rodgers 4 times. And yes, the offense is struggling. They're banged up, but it's still Aaron Rodgers. To hold a backup quarterback to 3 points in the second half of a game is an accomplishment. To do that against maybe the most talented quarterback in the National Football League is huge. Since week 4, when they got lit up by the Rams, their defense has been stout, and they could make some noise later.
I like them. Big win at home. Cousins was good. I look at the Vikings. They're in the B team right now in the NFC. Like, I look at them, I'm like, man, the Saints, Rams, and Bears are really, really good. You know what I mean? I'm sitting there and I'm watching them, and they don't run the ball at all. They have major kicker issues, and Zimmer's fuming on that. I don't want to see that come back and bite them. We know now, guys, we're at the point of the season. We know the good teams. We're not fooling ourselves about anybody. If the Vikings were a guy or girl that someone wanted to set you up with, would you be like, they're a nice guy, you know, they're a nice girl. I don't know if I'm necessarily interested in them. They got to show a lot more. And Kay talked about this at the Patriots, at Seattle. The next 2 weeks will decide, do they matter or are they the shallow end team? We'll find out.
Love that. More action from around the NFC to get to right now. The Giants were getting it going. Yesterday they were trying to get a win against their opponent, the Eagles, the Super Bowl champs. It was a showdown. Nate, take me to the link.